one of our mobile units out front. We're doing blood pressure and blood sugar checks today. So I know some of you guys have came by. So if you want your blood pressure and blood sugar check, come see us. Today, we're doing a presentation on diabetes and nutrition. What you eat matters, and so does how you move. Here with me today to help answer questions, I have Ashley Williams. She's a nurse practitioner at our Sparta and Gordon locations. All right. A lifestyle approach to preventing and managing diabetes. So the objectives we're going to go over today are understand how diabetes affect the body, learn how nutrition and physical activity help control blood sugar, explore healthy eating and safe movement strategies, and discover how to prevent or manage diabetes naturally. I want to say that no matter if you're diabetic or not, all the things we're talking about today applies to everyone. Everyone should be eating and moving as a diabetic should be eating and moving. So what is diabetes? Diabetes is a chronic condition affecting blood sugar regulation. There are three types. You have type 1, you have type 2, and you have gestational diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is something that you're born with it pretty much, and your body doesn't produce insulin at all. Type 2 is insulin resistance or deficiency. And that's when your insulin resistance is when your cells don't respond properly to your insulin, and this requiring the pancreas to produce more insulin to maintain your blood sugar levels. So when we eat something that contains sugar or that is a carbohydrate, all carbohydrates are broken down into sugars, and our pancreas releases insulin. The insulin's job is to help transport those sugars into our cells. So insulin resistance happens when the cells don't respond properly. And then deficiency, the pancreas doesn't produce enough insulin, and that leads to high blood sugar. So if your pancreas is not producing enough insulin to make sure all those sugars are transported into the cells, then the excess sugars can build up in the blood, causing high blood sugars. Gestational diabetes happens during pregnancy. So, you've probably heard of women who are pregnant, they may get gestational diabetes, but then oftentimes that goes away after they give birth. All right, why nutrition matters. Food directly impacts blood glucose levels. Key benefits: food helps stabilize blood sugar, supports healthy weight, improves energy and well-being, and prevents complications. So what you eat really matters. What you put into your body really matters. You put good foods in, you get good results. You put bad things in, it shows. Nutrients or nutrition that makes a difference. Carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? Anyone know? Bread. Some vegetables. What type of vegetables? Peas, corn. What else are some carbs? Crackers. Potatoes. Potatoes. Yes, potatoes. So peas, corn, crackers, bread, rice, potatoes, but also fruit. Fruit is a carbohydrate as well. And of course, sweet beverages, fruit juice, sodas, sweet tea, any of those types of things. So all those are carbohydrates. So with carbohydrates, you want to choose whole grains, legumes, which are beans and peas, and minimally processed foods. So stay away from a lot of the prepackaged type foods, the crackers, the chips, and try to choose more whole foods instead. Fiber. So what is fiber, and where is fiber found? Bread. Does all bread contain fiber? You're not sure. Anyone? Does all bread contain fiber? No. What types of bread contain fiber? The good bread. The good bread. All right. So you will find fiber in whole grain bread. So whole wheat, whole rye, those types of bread. If it says whole grain, those are the breads that you want to eat because those breads contain fiber. Fiber helps slow digestion and glucose absorption. So for example, if I eat a piece of whole wheat bread, that bread, because of the fiber, is going to break down slower, and those sugars are going to be released slower into the blood system than if you would eat white bread. Because it doesn't contain fiber, it's going to break down much more faster into sugars and flood your bloodstream. So fiber is very important. Beans and peas are naturally high in fiber, so those are good. Fruit and vegetables are high in fiber as well. Protein. Protein keeps us satisfied and are good for muscle maintenance. So those are things like your meats, your eggs, your nuts, your cheese, things like that. And then there are healthy fats, which nuts also fall into. And then you have avocados. Avocados are a great source of healthy fats. Olive oils, avocado oils. Does that mean you can have as many nuts and as much oil and avocados that you want? No. Everything is in moderation. And then the nutrients that you want to limit are the sugary drinks, the refined carbs, and added sugars. So what are refined carbs? So the refined carbs are things like the white bread or the chips or the crackers. They have been refined. All the good stuff has been taken out. All the fiber, all the healthy fats has been removed from those foods, and a little bit has been added back to it. Those are refined. So you want to try to stay away or limit those types. You also want to limit sugary drinks, soda, sweet tea, lemonade, but also natural 100% fruit juices. Although they don't have any added sugars, they are high in sugar. So think about it this way. We drink a bottle of apple juice. How many apples would you say would it take to make a bottle of apple juice? Definitely more than one or two. So when you drink a bottle of apple juice, it's like you're eating multiple apples at one time, but you're not getting any of the fiber from that apple. So all those sugars from that juice instantly flood your bloodstream and makes your blood sugars go up.
Can I ask some questions?
Sure.
I'll just start back. What about homemade lemonade?
If you're putting sugar in it, no. Yeah, those are good. Not all carbs are bad. Just you want to limit the refined one. Beans and peas are great foods to add to your diet. You should add those to your diet. So you just want to stay away from the heavily or the highly refined things.
What about cream corn?
Well, it depends on what's in it.
I'm at King cream.
Okay, yeah, no, not that one. So if you're putting like flour and things like that in your cream corn flour, especially if it's white flour that we typically use, that's a refined grain. So you want to try to limit those types of things.
What about keto bread?
So keto bread is fine. It will not affect your blood sugar. Mm-hmm.
So is it okay to use, instead of just regular sugar, is it okay to use like this sugar substitute?
So sugar substitutes okay, but I wouldn't say use to drink those all day long.
What about simple syrup?
No.
She won't.
But you know, everything is okay in moderation. If you're having a little bit of those things, that's fine, but you do want to limit them. You don't have to avoid completely, but you do want to limit those types of food items. That's simple syrup, that's honey, that's maple syrup, any of those types of things. Even though they're natural, they're still sweet. They still will affect your blood sugars if you eat too much of it. Not a good deal. Those are refined carbs because of the pancakes and the syrup. The same as goes for honey. Small amounts, not too much. Honey is several times sweeter than sugar.
What type of yogurt is okay?
Plain, non-fat or low-fat yogurts are best. It's best to do plain yogurt and then add your own fruit, or if you want fruit in there, instead of buying all the already pre-sweetened yogurts, because they contain too much sugar.
So,
Yeah, Greek yogurt is a great one. Thanks, Ashley, because it's high in protein.
okay, so like I've got some Greek yogurt,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, key lime.
Well, just make sure it depends. Well, read your labels. It depends on how it's sweetened. If it has stevia in it, it's okay. Like monk fruit sweetener or things like that, or some of the alternative sweeteners, they're okay in moderation. But if it has a lot of sugar in it, then you want to limit those.
I need to go back to fruits. 'Cause I get
Okay.
confused.
Okay.
One time, I thought I understood you to say that, that fruits are carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you said bananas break down to sugar, and that's what I have told you I had before, okay, this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've been on a strict diet this week,
Mm-hmm.
and, I got bananas, apples, the low-fat yogurt, pineapple, cottage cheese, low-fat cottage cheese. Is that
Yeah, fruit is fine. You just don't want to eat too much fruit at one time. But you can have fruit. Fruit is a carbohydrate, but it's a healthy carb. It's right. So it contains fiber. I just don't want you to drink a lot of fruit juice. But the fruit is fine. And fruit with cottage cheese is a great combination, because you're taking the cottage cheese, which is high in protein, and pairing it with a carbohydrate. And when you're eating a snack, it's very good that you pair the carb with something that's high in protein. All right, diabetic.
I'm sorry. Protein, you're not supposed to eat any, red meats if you have elevated cholesterol, right?
You should limit red meat, yes.
So when you say meat, about fish, chicken, salmon,
Yes, so poultry, chicken, fish, turkey, and beef and pork. You just want to limit the beef and pork because it is higher in fat and cholesterol.
pork one,
Yes, you should limit all beef and pork. Not saying you can't have it, but you want to limit. But pork loin is the healthier choice when it comes to beef, when it comes to pork. Any meat like beef and pork, look for the loin or the round. Those are going to be your lean cuts: sirloin, round roast, tenderloin, pork loin. That loin and round really tells you that it's lean. All right, so the diabetic or diabetes friendly plate. So half of your plate should be devoted to your non-starchy vegetables. Those are things like your broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, peppers, onions, tomatoes, yellow squash, asparagus. Those are non-starchy. Non-starchy vegetables are low in calories, they're high in fiber, and they have little to no effect on your blood sugar levels. Okay? So at least half of your plate is devoted to your non-starchy vegetables. 1/4 of your plate is for your lean proteins. Chicken, fish, turkey primarily without the skin, cooked in any way that's not fried. So you can bake it, broil it, air fry it, but you don't want to pan fry or deep fry your meats. And then beef and pork, choose leaner cuts like the loin and the round. Make sure you trim off the excess fat on those as well. The remaining 1/4 of the plate is for your whole grains or your starchy vegetables, and that's your beans and peas, things like brown rice, corn, potatoes. They go in 1/4 of the plate. So you can't have as much of the carbohydrates or the starchy vegetables and the whole grains as you can the non-starchy vegetables. So 1/2 of your plate, the non-starchy vegetables, 1/4 of your plate, the lean proteins, and the remaining 1/4 is for whole grains or starchy vegetables.
Say that, what'd you say? You said brown rice? What did you say?
Like brown rice, whole wheat pasta, corn, potatoes, beans, peas.
Moderate on potatoes.
Well, it's only going in 1/4 of the plate anyway.
Is sweet potatoes good for you?
1/4 of the plate. Mm-hmm.
1/4 of the plate, man. I ain't big on sweet potatoes.
Now you can't eat the big sweet potato. And you definitely don't want to load it up with butter. Just get a bigger plate. We're talking about a 9 to 10 inch size dinner plate. And you also want to include healthy fats and make sure you're drinking enough water. So healthy fats found in, foods like avocados, nuts, and seeds. I feel you have a question.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say I ain't never measured my plate.
I mean, it's just the traditional dinner plate, whatever you have at home, visually divide it into 3 sections, and then fill it, as you see. Yeah. All right, meal timing and portion control. You want to eat regular meals and snacks. So what happens when you skip meals?
You get hungry.
You get hungry, and so what happens the next meal? You eat a lot. So you want to avoid doing that. If you're skipping meals, you're more likely to overeat the next meal, and when you do that, you're going to be intaking too many carbs, too much sugar, too much food, too many foods at once. So you want to always try to avoid skipping meals and include snacks when needed. I say when needed because if you eat breakfast and it's not quite time for lunch, but you're getting a little hungry, you choose a snack. If you eat breakfast and you're fine, you're completely fine until lunch, then you don't have the snack. Sometimes we eat too many snacks. Sometimes we eat snacks just because the snack is available, and you don't want to do that. Now, when I say snacks, I'm not talking about chips or cookies or candy. Things like fruit and yogurt, or fruit and cottage cheese, or, an apple with peanut butter, or an apple with some nuts. Those types of snacks. Popcorn. Popcorn. Just make sure it's not the microwavable movie theater butter popcorn. So try to choose something that's low fat.
Okay, so you said earlier when you started this slide,
Mhm.
you were talking about, what did you word it? You said, you were talking about eating, don't skip meals because you're gonna eat too much. What about people who do intermittent fasting? So like breakfast, they don't eat and then wait till lunch. What about that?
Well, you have to listen to your body and know what you're doing. Intermittent fasting can be okay, but if you still, I feel like sometimes people with intermittent fasting, they may skip breakfast, then lunchtime come, they feel like they can just eat whatever they want to because they skipped breakfast, and that's not the way you should go about that. You still got to choose healthy, whole foods, even though you're intermittent fasting.
When you skip meals like that, your body metabolism is different too.
Mm-hmm.
Is kiwi a good fruit to eat?
Yes, and you actually can eat the skin off of kiwi. Wash it really well, scrub it a little, get the hairs off, and you can eat the skin off of a kiwi. Yes. Mm-hmm. Try to avoid taking the skin off. You know, of course, things like oranges, you don't want to eat the skin, but if the skin can be eaten, yeah, you definitely, a lot of the fiber and nutrients are in the skin of most fruit and vegetables. All right, so never skip meals. This helps to avoid blood sugar dips. Portion control, especially for carbohydrates. You never want to eat too many carbohydrates at one time. You eat a lot of carbs, that breaks down into a lot of sugar, your blood sugars go up, especially if they're refined carbs. And then consider a dietitian for specialized planning. Going back to popcorn, just a bit of information. You can have about nearly 4 cups of popcorn for the same amount of calories that you get for about 15 potato chips.
What kind of popcorn?
So air popcorn, some that you pop yourself without using a lot of oil. One of my favorites is Skinny Pop, if you've ever heard of that brand. Now, you got, you know, they have different varieties. You want to stay away from the ones that have a lot of sugar in them. So you don't want caramel popcorn or any of that type of stuff. But yeah, so any popcorn that's low fat. And you can buy microwavable popcorn that says 99% fat-free or fat-free or, you know, those types. All right, so I have on here meal and snack ideas. I don't know why I put a comma. So meals, say for breakfast, spinach and egg scramble with whole grain toast. Low fat, low carb Greek yogurt with berries and nuts. Salmon burger for lunch. Salmon burger on whole wheat bun with the lettuce, tomato, and onion. Or grilled salmon with broccoli with or without brown rice. And then some snack ideas, veggies and hummus, cottage cheese with fruit, popcorn. Just simple salt and pepper on popcorn is good. Apples and peanut butter, almonds, or hard-boiled eggs.
Is natural peanut butter better or?
Yes, it is. So natural peanut, but you have to be careful with natural. A lot of peanut butter says natural, and it is in a way, but if you check the ingredients, you want to buy peanut butter that has 2 ingredients, salt and peanut butter, or just peanuts. I mean, salt and peanuts, or just peanuts. A lot of natural peanut butters also have palm oil added to them to make them creamier, and palm oil is high in saturated fat.
One quick question back to the bread scenario. What about gluten-free bread?
It won't be whole grain, unfortunately.
Okay.
Have you found any whole grain gluten-free bread?
Not yet.
Well, if you find any, I would love to know about it. Gluten-free bread. Gluten-free bread. All right. Why physical activity matters. So physical activity enhances insulin sensitivity. It helps lower blood sugar. It supports weight management, improves heart, mind, and metabolic health, and decreases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Now, what's recommended is 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise every week. That averages out to about 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week. How many of us are getting the recommended amount of exercise every week? We have one person.
Got a walking pad to take care of.
Come on, coach, y'all embarrassing me.
It's a work in progress. It's hard. When you really try to
We all work, Sarah. So enhances insulin sensitivity and helps lower blood sugar. A great time to go for a walk is after you eat.
I do it with you all the time.
So when you exercise, your muscles need that energy from those sugars. So when you start moving and you start exercising and you start using those muscles, your cells or your muscles start to pull those sugars into the cells, and that gives you the energy that you need to move, to exercise. So exercise is very important in helping to manage your blood sugars. We all know that it's good for weight management, and improves heart, mind, and metabolic rate. So even if you have no health issues at all, exercise is good for cardiovascular health. It helps strengthen your bones, your joints, your tendons. As we grow older, we're more inclined to fall, and we want to be able to get up when we fall as we get older, and the exercise is going to help you do that. You also want to try to incorporate strength training 2 to 3 days a week. That doesn't require going to a gym, but things that you can do at home with resistance bands or with weights, or if you don't have any of that, you can do canned vegetables, bottles of water, anything, or your own body weight. Squats, chair squats, regular push-ups, wall push-ups, anything that'll help build your muscle. So on the next one, types of physical activity, I guess I just went over that. But begin small with small, consistent movements and then build up over time. You may not can go out there and run a marathon, but start with 15 minutes. Even if you have to do 15 minutes twice a day or 10 minutes 3 times a day, start somewhere and then build your way up. All right, combining nutrition and movement. Before activity, have a balanced snack. So if you know, especially if you're a diabetic, you're about to go out for a walk or run or any type of physical activity, whether it's gardening or washing the car, make sure you have a balanced snack because you don't want your blood sugars to drop too low while you're out there performing your activity. So something like the apple and the peanut butter or yogurt would be a great choice. Hydration. Always stay well hydrated with water. Sweet beverages and, things like that, they are not good choices when you're trying to stay hydrated. Check blood sugar levels before and after exercise. It only applies to if you're a diabetic. Make sure you check your blood sugars before you go exercise as well as after. Depending on what your blood sugar levels are, you want to have a snack or eat a meal. And then adjust meals and snacks based on your intensity. So if one day you're just going for a little walk, you may not need as much of a snack as if maybe you're going for a jog or a run or you're going to be doing any heavy lifting. Prevention through lifestyle. Healthy eating plus activity can cut type 2 diabetes risk by up to 58%. That's a lot. So if we all ate better and was more active, look how much we can cut the risk of getting type 2 diabetes. Even a 5 to 7% weight loss significantly improves your outcome. So just losing a little bit of weight will help prevent or delay diabetes. Prevention depends on small, sustainable changes, not perfection. We're not going to be perfect. No one is perfect. But making small changes that you're able to be consistent with goes a really long way. You ever hear somebody, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to go running every day. They start really big, and how long does it last? the next month, they're back to their old ways. So start slow. Small changes truly go a long way. Daily diabetes management. So regular glucose monitoring is important. Follow balanced meal and activity plan. Stay active consistently. Adhere to any prescribed medications. Always take your medications. Refill your medications before they run out. That is very important. We have so many patients who are completely out of medication, and at the last minute, they're about to go on vacation. They're trying to find a way, oh, I need my medications refilled. So always refill your medication days before they're scheduled to run out. And then keep routine medical checkups. Have your A1C checked. Make sure you're getting your eye exams every year. Your foot care, especially if you're a diabetic, you have to take care of your feet. That's very important. And then for resources and support, registered dietitians, diabetes educators, health education specialists. There are web apps like MyFitnessPal, if you've ever heard of anything like that. Helps you track your meals, help you keep track of your carbohydrates and things like that. Glucose Buddy, and then diabetes.org and CDC diabetes resources are all great resources if you want to check out to help in your journey. Some key takeaways: nutrition and physical activity are both essential. You can't have one without the other. There's this saying is you can't outrun a bad diet. So no matter how much exercise you're trying to do, your nutrition has to be there as well. Small, consistent changes create meaningful impact. Together, they help prevent and manage diabetes, and support is available. Take control and build your plan. So always keep in mind there's always support if you need it. You just have to reach out for it. It's available at your local doctor's office, your PCP. It's available online. So get the help and support if you need it. Are there any questions? Any more questions? So cheeses are very high in fat and cholesterol. A little bit of cheese is the serving size for cheese is about, think of 3 to 4 rolling dice. 3 to 4 rolling dice. That's about an ounce of cheese. That has, depending on the cheese, between 120 100 to 160 calories for that small amount. So you want to limit how much cheese you're eating, but then choose, if you can, low-fat cheeses or reduced-fat cheeses.
Is there any difference between goat cheese and regular cheese as far as cows and such?
No.
Cheese is cheese.
Cheese is cheese.
And even color, often heard that white's better than yellow.
Not really.
Well, I read, after I got my cholesterol results earlier this week, I read that I need to stay clear of cheddar cheese, but then mozzarella was okay.
Well, mozzarella is made with part skim milk, so it's a little bit it has fewer calories than, your cheddar cheese.
So, like, I had some eggplant last night for the first time ever in my entire life. Trying to be healthy, but but cooked it in the oven with mozzarella, low fat, low reduced cheese on top of it. And I ate, they were nice size. I ate 2 of them.
How was the eggplant cooked? Okay. That's fine.
If it hadn't been for that cheese, I probably
Wouldn't have eaten. Well, I say it this way: you definitely want to always eat your vegetables. But if it's something that you don't like and you have all these other choices to choose from, then don't eat that vegetable. Just you want to make sure you're eating some, but you don't have to eat anything that you don't like.
It was okay with cheese.
I just want to throw this out there too. With oils, you do, choose heart healthy oils, things like the avocado oil and the olive oils. But keep in mind, oil is oil. So no matter if it's vegetable oil or avocado oil, a tablespoon still has the same amount of calories, about 120 calories per tablespoon, no matter what the oil is. So if you're using a lot of oil, you're taking in a lot of additional calories.
Is fried okra in the air fryer okay?
No. Most items that are air fryer ready have already been fried before you got them. You're just finishing the process, and they crisp up so well because they already have oil in them because they've already been partially fried before.
No, I'm talking about fresh okra.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
But I'm talking about coated fresh okra.
What you mean coating? Yeah, what you coating it with?
She's coating with cornmeal and flour probably.
It's really good in the air fryer with panko.
Oh, panko, is that good?
Yeah, panko, salt, and pepper.
That can be better. And you can buy whole wheat panko.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole wheat panko is better.
Mhm. She was just saying that whole wheat panko is better.
It's a better option.
Yeah.
Tastes good.
Yeah, but usually any other thing that's for the air fryer, French fries and things like that, it's already been fried before. Yeah,
This is fresh fries cut from the
right. And those are fine. Keep the skin, wash it well, keep the skin on, spray it with cooking spray, and put them in the air fryer.
My problem is I don't know how much moderation is.
With what?
Any of it. I mean, like French fries. I love air fried French fries. I mean,
Well, moderation. The plate, 1/4 of the plate. You got to keep that in mind. If you're only putting that food in 1/4 of your plate, that's your moderation.
and don't go back for a second.
And don't go back for seconds.
Is that your snack, like 1/4? Is that what your snack would be?
Well, it depends on what you're eating. So if you're eating an apple and peanut butter, that's the snack.
But air fry, anything that you can air fry is the best way to go.
Yes, as long as it doesn't have the skin on it. Because even if you're grilling it or air frying it, the skin is still increased. You still have a lot of fat and cholesterol from just the skin being on it. So chicken wings are not the best choice when it comes to your meats because people typically don't remove the skin from chicken wings.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But like chicken thighs, like last night, took the chicken off and put them in the air fryer.
Right.
But you're right, wings, no. Not wings.
Yeah.
But again, moderation, that doesn't mean you have to completely give up wings.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that-
But you just don't want to eat wings every day for dinner.
You don't want it on a full house.
Right. Right. So it's okay. And try to save some of those foods that you really love, the fried chicken, the cake. Try to save those for special occasions and have a small portion. Birthdays, holidays, special events. Have a small portion during those times. But so he said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That is true. So if you are, I'm glad she, reminded me of that. So I am the health educator, like I stated before, for community healthcare system. So if you are a patient of ours and you would like to talk more one-on-one, the provider can, schedule an appointment with me. And we do diabetes education, healthy weight loss, healthy weight gain, pre-diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, any of those issues, if you want to further discuss and you're a patient of ours. Just let us know or let your provider know. All right, thank you guys.